Now, how to avoid this in the future? What could I come up with? Okay, let's just erase this real quick. And top thing that you could do is, one, always check your file permissions of the files you have. Two, always have your sites updated scripts. I myself have run several WordPress blogs. WordPress is my preferred CMS platform over, others like Drupal, Joomla, Bamboo Server, and all these other ones. And although that is my preferred one, I had several sites that got hacked also, and they were powered by WordPress. So whenever our WordPress updates come out, I always tend to update my WordPress. Now, updated scripts for content management systems. There are several content management systems. I believe you're running on Joomla, and there's also Drupal. There's tons of content management systems. There's WordPress. These are the common open source ones that many people use. They're pretty powerful, but all still have their vulnerabilities. WordPress has what they call plugins. Drupal has what they call modules. And Joomla has what they call extensions. Okay. They are basically all the same thing. They just call it different. WordPress calls their add-ons plugins. Drupal calls their add-ons modules. And Joomla calls their add-ons extensions. Since I'm more familiar with the WordPress plugins more than Joomla and Drupal, there is a specific plugin that checks for updates. And it updates it whenever there is an update. Whenever you log in and there's an update, it's just a click of a button and it updates the whole platform. Now, for Joomla, I assume if that plugin exists for WordPress, there should be a module for Drupal, there should be an extension for Joomla to obtain updates automatically. Now, in most of these platforms, whatever your CMS is, you have your core files. Okay? And in your core files, you could always have your add-ons. I'll call it add-ons, so it's generic to all of the three platforms I mentioned. And you also have your themes or templates. I'll call it themes. Okay. Now, in all of these content management systems, you could always customize these how you want them to be. Of course, you want to customize functionality. You also want to customize how it looks like, the design. And one of my top suggestions is never change the core files. Do not edit. Whenever you're gonna do any type of customization, if you wanna come up with a customized appearance, always work with the themes. If you always want to customize the functionality, always work on an add-on. Never try to edit the core files. The reason why I'm suggesting that is because you want to update your content management system all the time. So if there's a WordPress update, update it. If there's a Drupal update, update it. If there's a Joomla update, update your content management systems. Why? Because if you don't and there is an update, usually there's a security hole, and if there's a security hole, you could be vulnerable. If you do changes on your core and you do an update, all your changes disappear and you have to redo your work again. So that is why I suggest always work with themes and add-ons, because that becomes a more scalable solution in the long run whenever updates come along. Now, so that is the main summary of what I suggest should be done to avoid this in the future. Always check your file permissions, update scripts and CMS all the time. All the others are more like common sense, like make your password hard to remember, or hard to figure out, not really hard to remember, easy to remember but hard to figure out. Always add in some numbers aside from letters, use a combination of uppercase and lowercase letters, and even to make it more harder for other people to figure out, it would also be nice to add in special characters within your passwords. I personally, as a tip, I personally use a software called Password Plus. It's not a free software, unfortunately. You buy it, but at least at least Password Plus could run on Windows, it could run on Macs, and it could run on Palm OS, which is the main reason why I'm using Password Plus. It keeps all my passwords in a nice secure place. All of them are hard to remember. Even I don't know all of my passwords, and I use a software like Password Plus for me to handle all my passwords.